transnational repression, Arslan, I was wondering if you know whether Uyghurs are being targeted in the U.S. by China as well.
The US seems to be generally a safe spot. We know that the FBI have a hotline, but the Uyghurs are being targeted. And the way that they're being targeted is that the family members of not just activists, just normal Uyghurs, just going about their day, they are now able to get in contact with Uyghurs living in the United States and other countries, but not directly. They get in contact with on WeChat via a police officer or someone from the security bureau. They assign officers to a family and then they set up meetings for them. For example, in my case, very recently, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my two brothers-in-law were sent to a concentration camp and then prison back in mid-2017. And only last August, so August 2024, was the first time I saw and heard my mother-in-law and one of my brothers-in-law. So after 7 years. And we still have contact with them only through, as I mentioned, a police officer or some sort of security official's WeChat account. And now we set up meetings with them every week, every 10 days now. And we are able to communicate via this way. And so once you hear the people's voices and you see them on video call, the idea is that people will stop attending protests. People will stop going online and holding up pictures of their mother, father, brother, sister, saying where they are. And so now you see less activists on the scene, less people at protests, and these threats are working. And now it's gotten to a stage where if Uyghurs in the West abide, now they can actually visit their family members with special permissions, with restrictions. There was a Human Rights Watch report done where Uyghurs who have now gained citizenship from other countries after seeking asylum, they can now go on these Xinjiang propaganda tours, which only have Uyghurs in the tour buses. And even these Uyghurs, according to this report, even these Uyghurs amongst themselves have to speak Mandarin Chinese, and they have to give scripted videos to the communist regime. And only then are they able to visit and go into the homes of their own family members. So we're starting to see this now.
That is kind of crazy. It's
really
crazy.
sick. Yeah.
It's like how this isn't like this huge hostage situation where, oh, it seems like, oh, you're getting to see your family members, but the veiled threat behind all of this is that, like, if you don't shut up, then maybe they're going to get taken away again. And also what you just said about the propaganda tours as well. Do you see this having an effect in like the activism of the Uyghur, not just like whether people are coming out, but on whether, for example, countries outside China are still responding to the situation?
Well, think about it this way. Xi Jinping has a special, I guess you would call, policy, even with the Uyghurs in China, on to be posting positive stories on Douyin and other social media networks. And so if you have Westerner Uyghurs, like Uyghurs who have sought asylum in Western countries and have these citizenships, go into East Turkestan and also spew the same materials that the communist regime wants, what do you think the world's going to think? We were already being called US propagandists from years ago. And now they go, hey, look at this Westerner Uyghur. He's visiting his family. He's praising the development that he sees in his region. He's praising how his family now have jobs and are no longer peasants and have been uplifted out of poverty. What do you think the world's going to think? Unless you're really entrenched in this work that you've done for years, people are going to buy into this. And we can already see this. So it's not like on Western media platforms we can complain about our governments and protest. When people go on Xiaohongshu or Douyin or these other networks, they only see the positive because China only ever allows the positive. And if anything else is ever posted, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here, but you will be disappeared.
And it's interesting that while this is happening, there's also been a big push recently for China to pay foreign vloggers to come to Xinjiang or other parts of China, but we'll talk about Xinjiang. Come to Xinjiang, have these nice tours. Hey, there's happy dancing Uyghurs. I don't see any genocide.
The cotton's great.
Yeah,
Cotton's great.
We're talking about mostly white bloggers, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. And this is being pushed by YouTube. And so there is this big propaganda campaign going on right now to make it seem like everything's fine in Xinjiang.
That's the thing. You'll see the foreign ministry say, hey, come and visit Xinjiang. But the only sort of people that are allowed to visit are these foreign shills. What they would be called, the term is white monkey. Not being racist here, but
That's the term.
White monkeys are known to be generally Westerners that went into China to become English teachers, and then from time to time they would sell Chinese products, because if you can get a white person or a Westerner to sell a Chinese product, Chinese people often would buy it more. Hey, look, this is an American guy is promoting this, and now if you get Americans or Canadians or Australians or New Zealanders to go in and say, look, guys, don't believe Western media. I'm here for myself. And we know that these tours are paid for and not everything is shown. I live in the United States for the past 3 or 4 years now. I can go to Disneyland and go, hey, guys, there's no homelessness here. There's no, look at all these Americans having fun. All they do is go on rides every day. That's the equivalent, basically.
Oh, there's no homelessness in America? I'm convinced.
Well, apparently not. If you go to Orlando, Florida, just look at Disneyland. I mean, there's no homelessness. I mean, seriously.
A gigantic rat problem, though.
Yeah, people... It's so sad that so many people are falling for this.
I mean, the terrible thing about your analogy is that Disney World is Disney World, right? Like, it's like a fantasy place that wasn't, it was like, we're talking about like people's actual homes and homeland that is being turned into this like fantasy tourist attraction while they're also being imprisoned.
That's the thing. People need to understand, like, especially in the last couple of years, people think that China is some sort of alternative. China is a dictatorship. There is no freedom. And that's why I always say to these foreign shills whose videos, as you mentioned, I've been following your reports, whose videos are being boosted on YouTube, I dare them simply just to compare Xi Jinping to Winnie the Pooh. Simply make one criticism, or simply find some criticism on any sort of Chinese social media network. You will not find it. People need to not be this stupid.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this highlight from our podcast, but there's a lot more. The full hour-long show is available on our website, ChinaUncensored.tv. And when you subscribe, you'll also get premium China Uncensored episodes, live streams, and a community chat with me, Shelley, and Matt, and hundreds of subscribers. And most importantly, you'll be supporting content you love. Check it out. The link is below.